this up. That should be about good. Here, no, go away. I'm never going to get used to this. I want the old live studio back. Okay, good enough. Good enough for me. Hey guys and gals, I have a mess here because I'm in the middle of stuff, middle of projects. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't do a live stream today, but I realized that, hey, maybe that's the best time to do a live stream. I just finished putting together a mod, not really a mod, a custom build for a customer who has been waiting forever for me to get it done, but it's been a saga. I wasn't going to do a video on it, but I almost want to just talk about all the weird things that can pop up while doing a custom build. Because every single thing, it's like it's cursed almost. Every single little thing in it has gone completely wrong, and I've basically had to make every single part by hand. But it's going off to my buddy Joe Mercado in San Antonio because he is an expert sleever. He even does some of the sleeving for MDPC, so he's going to help me out with it. So I can take a break for now and just pay outrageous UPS shipping fees to ship that Pelican case. Otherwise, I have this other power supply. It's one of the last prototypes from HD Plex, and it works really good. It actually works. It's custom. It's custom. So I wanted to use this for a customer build for a special computer case that's going off to the UK. It's a brickless build that fits in the front of the frame, and I have some other mods too. But I blew it up, and I was like really frustrated that I blew it up, as you can see right here. See that little burn mark? And I just did this, so I was kind of trying to inspect it and see, but it looks like it might still work, actually. I don't think a fuse popped or anything, or a PCB popped. It did weld the hot terminal to the bottom of my case. So it kind of looks splattered, like from weld marks there. But I think it's going to be okay. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to fix it and turn it on and see if it's fried or not. Luckily, because this is a prototype, it doesn't have a fuse for this segment of the block, so it still might work fine. The only downside is that it would, eventually melt and catch things on fire if this particular thing got hit, but I'm going to fix that. I have an idea for that. So first is to see if it works or not. And then afterwards, I'm going to play with another custom build using some new products from J-Hack Company. J-Hack sent me some stuff, a couple months ago now. Some prototypes to take a look at for the Mini. And they're pretty cool. J-Hack's like a 12-volt guy. So, there's two sides of this coin here, 19-volt and 12-volt. And I really like the solutions. And I think that you can make a 12-volt solution that's kind of more tuned for the Mini. So I want to play with some of that stuff. Oh, I also have his new case, which I want to talk about too. Give him some exposure. The little guy starting out, some exposure, because it's good to know about his products. He makes some cool things, and I think he's going to develop them and turn it into like a real store, a real company. I don't know if it's going to replace his main job or not. That'd be really cool because he's a very knowledgeable guy and he has some cool products. So, anyway, I'm going to put my glasses on and I'm going to read some of the chat thingies. And we'll get started. I'll probably have to clean first. It made such a mess. All right. Hello. Good to see people. Familiar people. Dominic Gurry's not here today, unfortunately, as far as the products I'm looking at. But I'll probably talk about it sometime today. Anyway, I guess no questions yet. So. Good. That's easy. That's easy. So first things first, I'm going... Oh yeah, so if you lose a video, you probably won't lose a video, but you might lose audio if I trip the breaker again. Just FYI. Make sure this is clear. Is this on any metal? No. Oh man, I hate... Don't you hate thermal paste? It gets everywhere. Everywhere. It's all over my hands and my desk. Clear, clear, clear. You know what they say, a messy desk is an unsafe desk, or something like that. All right. Stretch before we get plasma and sparks. Didn't explode this time, exploded last time. Let's do some probing. Where's the ground? Oh gosh, I hate when the AC on this multimeter beeps like that. It is scary. Ugh, I gotta get a new multimeter. Go back to my Fluke multimeters. Oh, I hate that. Whenever there's AC and you have it in DC mode, it beeps at you. Oh, it's an AC, and then it gives you a heart attack. I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to check the DC. So here's the DC out. Okay. Let's check the, or the AC in. Let's check the DC out. Here's the top. What's the best way to do this? This? $19.71 volts. That's a really good sign. 19.71. $19.71. This may be working, in fact. Thank you, Calix Profit, for your super chat donation of $1. I appreciate it very much. I really do. Thank you very much. Yeah, Weston, like, I like my Fluke. I've had it forever. It's a great, great tool. But it's in, like, my garage. I feel like it deserves to be in my garage with all my broken electrical fault vehicles that I'm always troubleshooting. But so I got another multimeter for the one for the office. And I got this one because it displays the... it's a graphical multimeter. It's not like a true graphical multimeter or anything like that. But... it displays the waveform. Not to the precise degree that I would need for working on electronics, but it's a good prop, and I thought that that would be good for some videos to talk about AC and DC, because I'm trying to educate people. I know it's scary. I'm trying to educate people, but, you know, introduce people into the very, very basic electricity. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try it out. And I don't like this multimeter. It is pretty accurate. It was certified, the multimeter. But what I really don't like about it, besides the fact that it beeps at you when you really don't want to beep, it has this stupid LCD screen that's backlit, so it has very bad viewing angles, and it's really bad for daylight. So sometimes it's best just to keep it simple. Other than that, though, I do like it, but it's too expensive for not being a Fluke, so I'm probably going to need this out. Dominic says, are we going to get more competition in the PSU market for the Mini? If so, I think the Mini has a bright future. And I agree with you. Oh, I got to turn it off. I'm streaming twice. I don't have the bandwidth for that. There we go. I agree with you. And that's kind of the reason that the next Mini is staying the same size, is because I think that this is now an industry, even if it's a really small industry, of people that are building new power supplies and components for these small form factor computers. And then naturally they use the Mini because it's the best. Well, no, but really they use the Mini because it's the smallest, right? It's the weirdest and the smallest. So if it fits in the Mini, it probably fits in another case. So I'm hoping that manufacturers will make stuff that fits in this and will be fine and dandy. And HD Plex stepped up and made an impossible power brick, which works really good. G Unique, Gary's always making amazing stuff. I really hope that he comes up with something that's retail ready so all of us can purchase them and buy them. But then there's companies like I just said, J Hack, and his product, which I'm going to show you today, which is really great. And then there's Compact. Compact is going to be retiring from making the 160, the Dynamo 160, and just focusing on the 360. Because actually there is a lot of competition in this space now, too much for us small niche guys, so that's really good in a way, and I guess, well, I think it's good overall for all of us. We just need to figure out where we can make the best, most unique product. Jim Bond says, good evening, and welcome, Mr. Bond. It's always a pleasure to have you on the stream. All right, so I have a mess here, so I gotta clean up a little bit and decide what I'm gonna do next. I guess I'm gonna test this. First, I'm gonna unplug it before I electrocute myself, because this is enough to kill me. And then I'm going to test it with a HDPlex 400 DC, see if we get some nice lights, or if I pop it, then I'll look and see if I have a motherboard that I can sacrifice. Because this has to be working right, because I am giving this to a customer, and it has burn marks on it, which would be very poor form, but again, this is a special mod, and as long as I can prove that it's A-okay and going to power his 2070 build, I'm okay with that. Of course, I wouldn't give a customer a brand new off-the-shelf part with burned on it and pass it on to them, but this is a custom job with a custom power supply that I add some custom paint job to. Carbon black paint job. So, and he's no doubt watching this video, and I'm confessing live. What happened, by the way, is in making this enclosure, I didn't insulate it well enough, and the solder points on this prototype are not really, rounded off and safe on the bottom. They're a little bit long. Some B, C grade solder points on this for real. So when I put some electrical insulation down, wasn't enough. I should have been using really thick plastic, apparently. So then I went back. I'm going to grind some of these down, or cut some. I've already cut some of these down. And then I'm going to use thicker plastic on the bottom and see if it works okay. Yeah, Jim Bond, if I do kill myself, then there probably will be less attendance on Monday live streams, but it's okay because somebody else can take over. I don't really make any special content. Any one of you guys could theoretically take the reins. Speaking of which, you guys are not the typical people I interact with. You guys are, well, what's the way to put it? You guys are kind of my close audience. We're like friends. We're like in the same guild to play together. So I want to talk to you about something that's kind of been bothering me lately, and it's kind of really thrown me off groove. I like doing these videos and making the minis and building builds because I like interacting with people. I've always wanted to kind of have my own company and to be able to provide good service and meet new people and, try to make something good. And when people don't like what I have to do, my product and stuff like that, it kills me. It really just, it sinks me big time. And I really haven't had anybody that hasn't liked the product. There's really only been 2 people I can think of, and I've always tried to work it out as best as I can. I'll go to any lengths to make sure that they're happy at the end of the day. But that's really what I'm just letting you guys know. Like, this isn't like marketing spiel or anything, because it's honest. It's you guys, you know me, we hang out. But if you ever have a problem with the product, just let me know. I will take care of it 100%. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be upset or frustrated or think I'm not going to help you out. I totally will 100%, back you up. And another thing, too, is that somebody who I had a lot of respect for and really liked, said something on another forum the other day that said that like I was a jerk to somebody else, and that really just killed me because I would never want to hurt anybody's feelings. I never want to be a jerk to some people. I'm kind of socially awkward, so I make up for that by trying to be extra outgoing, like on the video streams and stuff. But if I hurt your feelings or something, please, send me an email and let me know. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's business. I really only want to promote small form factor, and kind of grow a community and a family. So yeah, if I offended you or something like that, or you don't like the product or something like that, I will 100% try to make it right. So I'm not defending myself. I say stupid stuff all the time. Most of what I say is stupid. So I'm just letting you guys know. So you guys can tell other people, that just send me an email. I am happy to help out. So sorry about that, but it's just been really, really bugging me and kind of bringing me down. So just wanted to tell somebody. The next S4M drop, guys, I would tell you if I knew. Progress is being made on that every day, it seems like, but it's hard to gear up and make sure this is all right and make sure it goes smoothly and stuff. So I try to make sure it's all right, so when you guys do order, that it's actually going to happen. That's one of the major scares I have with Kickstarters and stuff like that, is that so many things are out of your control, and so you think it's going to be easy and it's not, so delivery takes a long time. It's always complicated anyways. That's what I'm trying to say. So I want to try to make it as smooth as possible. So that's why pre-orders are not up. Because when I do a pre-order, I've actually placed the order for the product. The product is made, it's prototyped, it's being ready to ship to you. It's not like me trying to get funds and then try to see if I can get it all done. That's too stressful. I don't want to ever do that. So when you pre-order something from me, I actually am having it made at that time. I've already spent the money on it, so if that makes sense. This thing has way too many settings on it. Okay. What do they say? Sacrificial motherboard. Okay. This is so funny. I could go order a custom PCB to test out my power switches, which would be a lot better and faster. But because I have this perfectly good and older computer sitting here, and this is what I use to test my on-off switches with. It's really sad, really. But it just, when you're doing all these different kinds of things, you do it's easy, and this was easy. So this will be my sacrificial test victim. And I'm going to use an HD Plex unit. Not a newer one. Use an older one. This one might be dead. That one might be this might be the one I use. Someone says, hello from Russia? Well, you are welcome here, comrade, because I love myself some Ruskies. Although it's very hard to ship minis to you guys. You guys are one of the most challenging places in the world to ship to. China is actually number one, which is so odd because it's very easy to ship stuff from China to me. But there you have it. But I have 4 that I know of, mini customers from Russia, so it's always exciting to see them in the live stream. Because it's not really a lot. Just checking to see if it's plugged in. Otherwise, you know how it is. Okay, so this is all plugged in. Maybe I should blow up. Yeah, I think that's probably smart. I should blow up the HD Plex first. And if the HD Plex plugs in and survives, then I can move on to killing my... Yeah, Jim Bond, that's actually why manufacturers move over to China. There's two main reasons. People think it's because it's for cheap labor. Labor is less expensive there, but there are other things which make the labor not really that much worth it, like, you know, setting up new factories, train new staff, that kind of thing. That kind of cancels out the labor. But it's taxes. Most things made in China and shipped to the US, electronics-wise, don't really have any taxes on them when they come to the US. And then number two is shipping. The government subsidizes shipping in China extremely heavily. So you can order things with rush shipping air and get them very, very, very quickly. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's see if the HD Plex blows up. Okay, I did see a surge go to 22 watts, which I think is a good thing. Maybe it's... Ooh, that's a little bit close. I should check that first. Use my plastic calipers. Move that. Okay, we have a standby light on the HD Plex. That's cool. That's very cool. Jamie asks a great question. Do I know a good place to get the Mini wrapped? No, I don't. I really don't. Find one for me. I've now talked to several places that said they could do it, and then they didn't really want to do it when they saw it. So find a good place that can do it, and let's tell people about it. That would be awesome. Very true, Jim. Very true. Oh, Novak asks a great question. He says, are there any plans for all silver or all black options of the S4M? I think I've ranted about this before, but I want to try and do an all black Mini this time around, and then a black and silver like has been in the past. I don't like... It's... From a manufacturer or seller's perspective, I don't like black Minis. I tried it a couple times, obviously with the S4MC. I tried doing two colors, silver and black. It was very hard to order the right amounts. And with black, there's a lot more complexities. Yeah, it's more expensive to do. Obviously, you're dyeing and you're baking or you're boiling to seal it in the anodized dye. And I like a really rich, deep black that doesn't look purple. It looks really great. And Lian Li does a fantastic job. But there's also some other problems, like when the metal wraps over and touches. I don't really understand it. I'm not a chemical engineer, but there's some issues that are caused when doing the black, these braces. Long story short, there's a couple reasons I don't like black. One, it shows fingerprints easier, way easier. You can't really see the fingerprints on the silver. Two, you can scratch the black. It's anodized, so it's very scratch resistant, but you can scratch it. And if you scratch it, then you're going to see a silver scratch mark on your black panels, right? Whereas you scratch a silver panel, well, it's silver underneath, not really a big deal. And three, if you do any mods, like if you want to cut into a black anodized panel, well, you're going to have silver where you cut into the metal, right? Whereas if you cut into a silver panel, it's just silver, so it matches. So that's really handy, like if you're modding like the front stock bezel, for example. And then finally, this is rare with Lian Li, but one of the reasons it makes it more expensive, black is hard to do if you want that perfect luxury, 100% great look. You know, no splotches or anything, but real nice and even and clean. Anodizing is extremely expensive. Like I said in the past streams, I don't think computer cases are going to be anodized in the future because of the changes that are happening and because it's not really environmentally friendly. So... Sorry, I had to put that away. So anodizing is really, really, really expensive. And to get it right is very expensive. Anyways, what was I saying? What was the point of this? The point is that to get anodizing black all right and looking good, shipped to you guys perfect, is scary to me. Because if there is a problem, like it's not 100% perfect. If it's a cheaper case, who cares, you know, whatever. But I consider myself personally responsible for every one of these minis that goes out, and it has to be perfect when it gets to you. And that kind of is scary because that could be very, very expensive if there is a batch problem. That was just me telling you why I don't like black. So there you have it. But I am trying to do black because people love all black. Like that's like the most requested thing. So I'm gonna try. I don't know why you watch these live streams. It's not my fault. You asked me a question and I just rant on about it. But yeah, I want to do my two-tone black and silver again because I love how it looks. And if the inside is not 100% perfect, you know, we can all live with it. I have a hard time living with it, but for the most part, they do a good job. And then we'll do an all black mini. All right, so we looked and saw, and this was all good. So let's plug this in. And I'm excited to see if this works. This one? I have to say though, personally, I'm not like an all black kind of guy. I just think it's seen too much. I like originality, I guess. I don't know. I like unique things even if they're weird, like the Pontiac Aztek. Hideous car, but it was kind of unique. So anyway, but at the same time, when I did that black mini for that customer that did the 2060 build, that looked really cool. That did look very, very cool. So I'm sold on that idea. Okay, let's plug this in. See if there's smoke. Stand by. A little bit of coil wine, which is good. I mean, we don't like coil wine, but that means it's actually going to the system now. And then I'm going to power this on. Okay, good, but I think the silver and the black looks epic. All right, I think I have just the thing to isolate this. It's in the shop. I'll be right back. And I'm still going to use a little bit of electrical tape on the sides. And I have electrical tape in my case as well. It just wasn't enough for that protruding solder point. Okay. But when I make the black, please buy it. Please buy it because I'll need to sell it. A big thing too, like if you own a Mini, you know what I'm talking about, but silver does not look good in photos. The black doesn't really either, to be honest, but the black looks way better in photos than the silver. I've said this story before too, so I apologize. I keep saying it over again, but I always saw Lee cases way back in the day when I was like first starting to build computers, like nice computers for people. And nice, I mean like a $600 PC. But I would look at the Lees. I'm like, why are these so expensive? They're so ugly. They're so ugly. And eventually, after hearing people's opinions about them, I bought one for myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is beautiful in person. But on the Newegg photos, it looks really bad. So, there's some more. Anecdotal. What's the best way to do this? I'm going to fold this a little bit like this. Fold this one. Also RGB, like I always kind of looked at RGB with disdain, thinking it was just too much. But after seeing enough builds in person, I kind of like it. I like it in person. There's always too much, right? The trick is finding out what is not too much, what looks right. Though still I like RGB anyway for customization, because it doesn't have to be rainbow unicorn vomit. Oh, I hope this works. It'd be cool if this works. Maybe I can do it this way. It's kind of tricky. Oh, yep. Got more thermal paste all over me. That's a big transformer. Don't shock me, buddy. This is going to work. I just need to cut this down. Oh man, I got thermal paste all over my hands, and it's conductive thermal paste because I put NTH1 on it, which we don't want. So I gotta wash my hands off. Sorry, so I have to leave the room again, clean this off, and I'll come back and put this in. Be right back. Sorry about this. Tell knock knock jokes. Everywhere. Any mechanics or backyard mechanics? Thermal paste to me is like copper coat, spark plug copper coat. Like no matter what you do, you get it everywhere. Now I don't mean when you're just opening it and putting it on the CPU, but like if you do anything else, it just seems like it gets everywhere. There we go. Double check the backside, make sure that there's not really... I did it again. This will be my thermal paste rag. Come on, baby. Hey! It's pretty good. Kind of bowy in the middle, though. That's weird. Maybe I do need to cut it down a little bit tiny more. Which is a shame, because I'd like a tight fit. Wow, that's tight. See you, Dominic. Sounds pretty good. I decided I am going to cover the... Do I need to? I'm just checking the edges of the PCB for any exposed circuitry, but it looks pretty good, except for this. That doesn't look good. That needs to be covered. It's like a copper bar running between these two. Heat pad there. Getting this assembled again is a pain in the butt because there's these heat pads. I think they're just to basically hold a gap, tiny little tolerance gap. Then there's the thermal paste between the heat pads. I wish I do have an extra camera. I could do a top-down view for you guys. The problem is, how do you control that? How do you switch to that extra camera? So we just kind of have to deal with this bad view we have. And here's the tricky part. So we need to bolt these regs to the side of the heat sinks. And how it does that, there are these clamps. They're threaded clamps. And so it presses against them and pushes them to the heatsink. It is a giant pain in the butt to do. Giant. So that's what I'm going to be fiddling in here, just so you know. I did find a technique for it. But it's still a pain. Yeah, sorry about my frames per second. It is complaining at me, but unless my wife is watching on my connection, I can't really do anything about it. I only have enough juice, internet juice, to do one thing at a time. So I'm going to put this clamp, holding it with my pliers in. I'll move some stuff. I don't think you can see any better, but maybe you can. Put this screw in my magnet tip screwdriver. Carefully guide it in. It's like playing Operation. The screws are a little bit longer. This would be a lot easier, but they're not a little bit longer. So it's not easier. I feel like I got it, but I didn't. Why is it not going in? This one just straight up isn't threading in. Oh, you know what? No, this one is threaded one. I don't know what. Let's try another one. This one's going. Yay! Nice and clamped. That one holds 3. All the other ones hold 1 or 2. This one's held in place by glue, which is really how it's supposed to be done. I think that's their secret. Come on, you can go in even, can't you? It can. Number 2 done. Let's try this one again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What is the latest word on the Ryzen release? I'm actually more excited about the Ryzen APUs, but it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not really caught up on this, that they're not really going to be coming out for the desktop this year. That if we're lucky, we'll see it on integrated chips for like laptops and stuff. Which is a shame, because I really like getting me some come on, baby. Like, I think I see the problem. There's these little reliefs in the board. I mean, I'm calling them V-regs. I don't think that they're actual V-regs, but there's these little notches in them, and this plate sits inside. I'm trying to show you with my hands. It's impossible. It sits inside these notch, but it's resting in the notch, so I think I need one of these that has an offset hole. But why would they use a different one? They're trying to manufacture these as cheap as possible. It will thread in. And this is down far enough. When I put it on the right side, I think my solution is going to be find a longer M3 screw. I don't have a countersunk one that's longer. But I will look. This isn't even the main project. I was hoping this would be out of here in no time. This one's longer, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Could go out in the shop and make a screw, but that's not the kind of Saturday morning TV that we're looking for. Chop this one down, that would work a-okay. Yeah, it's not going to be any longer by the time I'm done. So why am I having a problem here? I know this goes on this side. Does that flip around here? know the problem. I don't understand why I have to fight the problem like I... Sorry, guys and gals. I will move on to something else if I can't figure this out, but no, it has to go this way. No! No, almost had it. One more time. One more time. Okay. I will have to do something else. It's upsetting. The easy solution is just to get a longer screw, which I don't have the particular one right now. Which is sad, because as you saw, I have 50,000 other screws. Caleb asked, any idea when the 800 watt HDPlex will be available again? I don't think it ever has been available. I reviewed a beta version that's still in development. I feel like my job is to show upcoming or interesting ideas to you guys, but it's not really a product that's out yet. And HDPlex kind of does it in a weird way. They put up on the site and they say it's sold out, but really they should have like coming soon or something. So I have to shelf this, but basically this is going to go in the front of this unit. And then there's going to be a smoke gloss bezel that goes over it. So you can kind of see the internals of the power supply. And I want to do like a tiny little white LED that shows on the inside. If it looks good, I'm going to try it anyway. If it doesn't, then I'll yank it. That's the goal. But the good news is it looks like the power supply is working. So now we're going to go on to the main build. Ooh, keep bumping this. I'm sorry. That probably really hurts your earphones, your ears. We're going to work on the next build using the J-Hack stuff. Until we hit a wall where we can't move on from that either. Such is life. What am I doing? This goes here. That one goes there. before I spread the disease of thermal paste. All right. So, the customer sent me this mini, and he's awesome. Look at that. Labels to ship back. But make sure you put more padding in your case, guys. That would, or screws will fall out. Multiple screws will fall out. Other than that, great shipping container. And basically, wants a carbon fiber bezel, a custom one, which I can't do, obviously. Black side panels, which I set aside for him a while back. And wants to do a brickless build. Well, the brickless build we're going to do is a 12 volt one, and it's going to use J-Hack's products, which he actually made a version. I was tossing that anyway because it had scratches on it. We're not going to use it. But still, that was dumb. Dumb. That, I have what you can't see here, all these magnetized trays on my tool chest. And they're awesome. And I have lots of them. But one of them doesn't really have a magnet, but it looks similar. I need to get rid of it. Because if you bump it, it falls over. And if I put stuff in it and it falls over, then I spill everything. That's trash. Anyway, what I was saying is J-Hack stuff actually comes with the cables and wires and everything pretty much set up for the Mini. At least the one he sent me did. So I thought that was cool. And I was like, okay, well, why not use a Meanwhile build? And I get to test it out. And this will work great for it. Now I'm putting one of the beta units they sent me a while back into this one. And then I'm also going to open up my Pure case from him and some power supply stuff. So we can take a look and see what the retail variant looks like as well. And I might toss these, put the adhesive. I feel like I'll never get off. They're in good shape. I probably can use them over, paint them or something. This customer sends me all sorts of really weird, interesting things. I can't really identify this motherboard. It's Mini ITX, but it's like an extended Mini ITX. Is there any identifying information on this motherboard? But he does a lot of stuff with high-end Xeons. This one's not going to be so high-end because it's not a socketed one. It doesn't look like. No, it is. Wait, no, it's not. It's an embedded one. But I don't actually see any information. And I don't have to take that apart. I'm probably not going to. My job is simply to... Ooh, what happened there? I'm going to use actual fan screws for these. Actual fan screws are great because they bite right into the fan. And the Sky bracket is really stiff. It's a high grade aluminum. It's 6000 series aluminum. So it will work more better. We need a long one instead of a short one. It's going to cover the entire width of the fan. And it's black, so it's going to blend in nicely. Charles asks, are you still able to make a custom wood front for our taste? I can make a custom bezel for you guys out of wood, acrylic, Delrin. So yeah, totally can make a custom one. But some people didn't understand this. If you want a custom one, then there's a custom option. I might have not put that in the right place for the wood. But if you want actual custom stuff, it's $99, and you can choose however you want it. You can send me files or plans. You can say, I want this here or that there. Happy to do it for you. But the base ones, that doesn't include that. I've tried to give customers freebies where I can and fit it in where I can, but then if it's a scheduled thing, if that works out, great. But otherwise, if it's a single bezel and it's going on the CNC and I have to make a custom fixture for it, that's a day of work. And plus setting up the 3D file and doing the cam and all that. So. But yeah, I can totally make a custom one for you. People say, well, isn't the carbon fiber more expensive? Yeah, it is more expensive. But it ends up being the same price if it's custom because it's really the price of labor, not the material at that point. Jim Bond. Yeah, I'm trying to take over the world with small form factor computing. It's up to him to stop me. But first I have to rant for an hour about my evil plan, giving him time to formulate his plan to take me down. So I think this looks better, and on top of that, I really do believe that it's going to be quieter as well. I'm not saying I hate rubber plugs, so if you have rubber plugs, don't think that I say that they're useless. They do make sense if you have a really thin metal computer case that has a really long flat panel like the back or maybe the front of your computer case. Using all four of these actually probably can help. Try both. But if you have a really stiff computer case, and when these two fans go together and it's making this bracket, I mean, it's rock solid. I prefer to use the screws in this instance. Kiesler's doing drills all day long. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's loud. What do we have here? Some fancy card. Probably a GB E10 card. I don't know. I'm not a computer guy. That's why I have you guys. All right, black panel. I think I have two left. Yep, cool. For Joe. What is the IO shield? Oh yeah, I should probably take that apart and paint it. That's ugly. I guess I'll do that before I put these on. Good call. Good call. The Techno Edge. This mini has been well loved. There are some patina marks going on here. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic with my hat. Hey, Tumor. Good to see you, man. And I really appreciate, as usual, your super chat that you always provide. I don't know what this thing is. This guy's pretty cool. He builds weird systems for weird purposes that are way above my head. So I have no idea what this is. The last build I did had like a 24-core Xeon in it. I mean, it was some serious hardware. But I didn't buy it or spec it or anything. He would just like build it, put it together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the power supply in. I'm going to use the UHP 212. And I'm going to use some of J Hack's products, which I want to talk about. But I need to get to that first. So right now it was pointed out to me that this I/O shield is ugly, and I agree. So I'm going to take it out. I'm going to paint it. This is a cool format motherboard. I really like this. I mean, I've seen weird, longer mini ITX ones before, but like in Dell units, stuff like that. This looks like it actually could be a standard that I don't know about. It's like square edges too. This is a cool little board. It looks expensive. It's by Supermicro, so yes, it's gotta be expensive. Put that here. Pop this out. And I'm going to clean this. And we can talk about things while I do that. I said we could talk about things. I don't have anything to say. Nothing. I'm going to hit this with some acid, and I'll be right back, and we'll put the power supply in, because we can do that separate while this is drying and all that. to wear a respirator. Should have wore a respirator. The bottom panel on, and then let's open this up. So here this is. Move this around. Plug in my anti-static thingy again. Move this over here. I mentioned this before, but in case other people haven't noticed yet, when you get your Mini, this is the cover for the foam inside. I highly recommend that you set your Mini on top of this while you're building it, because it really helps you prevent any screws rolling underneath your panels and scratching them, because it elevates it a little bit. Just my recommendation. Feel free to ignore it. But I know it helps me. I know this is like the slowest paced live stream I think I've ever done, and I'm very sorry for it, but gotta get back in the game. I like the silver screws with the black. I think that looks cooler. But the Mini comes with an extra set of black screws. Okay, so this is the Distro 400. I don't really know much about it, to be honest. This isn't the kind of video where I'm going to actually go over the specs and talk about it. I just kind of wanted to open it up again and play with it and stick it in the Mini. So when I do a video on it, which I think I'm sure I'm going to in the future, and when I review his cool new case, then I will be prepared with a spec sheet. But basically, it's the same kind of thing. It's an AC-DC converter / merger unit like we've been using in the past, but this one is 12 volts, so it kind of fills a niche that is not really being fulfilled right now perfectly. There are other products that are similar, but they don't do the whole entire job as nice and easily. I really like this 24 plug-in unit. I call them plug-in units. Maybe I'm going to unofficially trademark it. I think it's a good name for them, but it basically means it plugs right into your motherboard, so you don't have to have a long 24-pin cable with all the little wires and stuff pouring out of it. Joseph, thank you so much. You're awesome, and I really appreciate the kind words of encouragement, especially in light of the earlier stuff today. So it picks me up big time. So thanks. I really appreciate your support. And your money. Let's be real here. And your money, especially your money. So yeah, where was I? So this plugs into the motherboard. This is going to plug into the Distro 400. Maybe the whole thing is called Distro 400. I don't know. J-Hack is actually joined us, so he can correct me and be technical, which is good, because I could just not be. Probably should look at a diagram to see which is the out. So there's going to be an in and an out, and I'm going to have to wire all this up. They are printed on the side. It looks like the input uses the pop-in wires, so you can just basically twist them and lock them in. Is this using kind of special key? I probably have to look at a diagram. This looks like a lot more going on than I thought it did. So this is the output side. And we have 12 volt, 12 volt, 12 volt 4, another 12 volt 4 pin. No, this one's different. Yeah, let me go to his website. J-Hack, if you want to type in your website link to it, and I'll post it. I can post it. Thanks again, Toomer. Appreciate it. J-Hack Company. That's it. Thank you. Ooh, fancy. Updated the website since the last been back. Do you have like a diagram or a picture of anything like that? I think I can figure it out. Right, I got that far. But the Wago connector, I've not seen that before. But basically, you just twist the wires together and then you can stick them in there. That would make it nice and easy. I'm gonna Google that. Image. Oh, it's like for solid copper wire. But you could use it with it. Okay, yeah, okay. No, I really appreciate all your support as well. Thank you very much. You are awesome. Thanks for always trying to catch my streams too, even though it's late for you. Okay, so the only real question I have, I should replace the battery. No, the battery's looking good. The only real question I have, J-Hack, while you're here, is wow, that was a really big donation. Thank you very much. That's a huge, huge donation. So, thank you. I appreciate it. If you want another of those fancy cables, let me know. It's where the sync cable is. Oh, it's down here. It's printed on the board. I'm just being stupid. All right, so input goes in here, output goes in there. And what's this guy? Is this for like putting another, like a Molex 12 volt in? So you just have two. Ooh, do you have a YouTube video? Okay, I'll post that in there. No. Yes. Alright, well, I'm going to just use the lag connector and I'll look at it later. No! Darn it, I popped my pop-outs. Man, I really can't stand this new YouTube interface. There we go. I deleted your message because I'm amazing, J-Hack, but he posted the video instruction manual. But whatever, I'm going to just put this, see where I'm going to stick all this stuff in. So this is the UHP 212, which is a mean wheel power supply. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like 40 to 50 bucks. It's 200 watts, which is more than enough for this build. I looked and saw the specs and I asked the customer, can I power this thing? He said yes. So this is what I'm going to use. This is kind of cool because it actually will go in the front frame rails of the Mini. And it kind of fits in there so nicely that you don't even need to screw it in. Although I will take some more It's really in there. That's cool. It locks in there really nice and neatly. I actually don't even know how I got it in there to be so easy. There it goes. So I'm going to stick this in the front because the card we have is only motherboard length. It's going to fit perfectly. And it doesn't need to blow out. The only thing, though, is that he wants a power button placed in the middle. I'm hoping that you can be flexible on that. Maybe I can put it on the side or something and do something else with LEDs because he wants it to glow green. Because it'd be cool to put this in the front. I do have enough space where I could easily put this on the side, right? But then I have these two boards. Well, maybe I can make it work. Let's see if we can make it work how he envisioned it. And if not, then I want to do it the way that I think will work well. We just got space for days. Got to 3D print something. Can make a 3D printed bracket or make some steel bracket. Don't have room to make a steel bracket to go over. Let's look and see about a sky bracket. Tumor man. I'm pounding it. No, you don't need Velcro. You never need Velcro. Ugh. JHack also provides like 3D printed files to make cool little enclosures and stuff for it, so that's kind of handy. But I'm probably gonna make something special. It'd be really cool though if I could put the power button maybe on this side, because I really would like to stick this in the front. And then put this on the side, because how JHack did this with the cables, I'm just already looking and kind of guessing. If I stick this here, oh, this is on the side. But technically speaking, I could put this here. Kind of flows from the back. You have your AC input. So yeah, I'm gonna put it here. So you have your conversion going into the distro 400, and this is going to go to my 24 pin, and then I only need a CPU, right? CPU power for this board. Oh, actually, he was telling me that this board doesn't need CPU power for some reason, even though it has it on here, which I thought was really strange. But I'm going to plan for it anyway, just in case. The question is, how do I want to? It'd be kind of interesting if I put it on the side so you can see there's sky slots, but that also seems like it could be a slight safety concern, so I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not a safe person in general, but even I think that there is a line that should not be crossed when working with other people's stuff. Yeah, it's a PCIe Ethernet card. It's a heck of an Ethernet card. This is the XXV710-DA2. Smells expensive. Let's look at some of the cables he gave me. This is SATA. SATA plugs into, looks like the 24 plug-in unit. I like this. Nice and neat. What I was noticing earlier when I unboxed it, I was like, this looks exactly the right cable for plugging into a normal mini ITX motherboard, like from Asus or ASRock or something, and the mini, with the two SATA connectors spaced perfectly for the Sky Bracket Duo. This one might be a little short, but this is the beta unit. I'll look at the final version of it. But it might work fine. But I do like the length. That's really great. And it's the nice slim silver wires, which I've seen in a couple different power supply builds now. The only thing with these, this isn't a knock on the choice or anything, because I do like them. I think I prefer them. Is that they're easy, they cut easily. So just be careful not to snag it on your hardware, because you can shred it and expose the wire. I've done that a couple times and had to re-sleeve everything. This is, looks like the graphics cord plug. That's cool. Look how short this guy is. So if you were plugging it in like right here, and you had this on the side of your computer case like your Mini, this would plug in perfect direction into your graphics card. This is obviously made, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is obviously made with the Mini in mind, I think. The cables certainly are. Got 2 of them, so if you had a monster graphics card, like the 1080 Ti, what else do we have? This is a, this could be a lot of different things. It could be a CPU, could be something else. I don't know. I'll have to look at the get started guide. This is could be an extension cable. This could be a cable used to interface with this particular product. So I guess because this is just 12 volt out, it's just agnostic, so it's just going to plug in like so. I don't know. I'll have to look a little bit later. But the point is, we can easily figure out where to fit this. We're going to stick this. It's too long to stick there. I'm going to make a 3D printed bracket or something. Stick this here. I'm not going to have these wires. I will use a custom plug. I'm going to use probably a GX12 instead of a GX16 because it's only 200 watts and I think this will carry the current no problem. Wants a green one, so I can reuse the existing Mini power aperture hole. I'm guessing this is a sync cable. Yeah, okay. So I'll need to make a longer sync cable, which you would normally have to do. This is just a really weird motherboard. But for like the size of the Mini, if you had a normal, you know, gaming motherboard, this would be the right length with how this is intended to go. So I really appreciate that he actually made cables that had the Mini in mind. Now, that'll go there. This is going to go here. I'll figure out the wiring later. But what I want to do now that I have that planned somewhat is I want to look at my other toys I got from J-Hack. His cool little Pure case. I was going to unbox it for you guys, but then I had to look at it. I could not wait. I got too excited, so I opened it up. It came in a USPS Priority Mail box with some foam around it, lovingly hand packed. Got here good thick cardboard, and it has a sticker on it that says Pure by J-Hack. And you gotta appreciate the stickers because stickers are expensive. Go get them at UPS. They'll charge you an arm and a leg for them. I buy these exact same boxes from Office Depot. Is that where you get yours? Do you know a better source? They actually are not bad at Office Depot, like everything else is overpriced. But here is the J-Hack Pure. This is a very, 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 very simple Mini ITX case, which I really, really dig. Can't take that out. That's good. And I love it. It's just 2 pieces. How simple is that? Out of thick aluminum. Well, I appreciate you spending your YouTube money on me, Joseph. Thank you. I'm mixing up M3 screws already, and these are hecka countersunk. These are, look, 100 degree. I have to get my calipers to measure them. They're different than the minis, so I don't want to mix them up. I know what this is. But check this out. Very, 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 very efficient computer case. 2 pieces. Clamshell design, that's what I call it. And it has just enough room to stick a good mini ITX cooler, a power supply for a brickless build, and you know, I am a fan of the little offset power button. I dig it. But it's real well built. Real well built. Real thick aluminum. Bins are pretty darn straight. This is solid and beefy because he has these flanges on the side. And I think this is cool. I'm noticing this. This flange he made good use of. Has 2 mounts for, looks like 60 millimeter fans, which are, you know, a pretty common size. You can get them Noctuas that do it. That's nice. I really like that. Good use of space. I don't know why it has these. I like figuring this kind of stuff out. These side... Does it come with brackets? Don't tell me. I want to figure it out. Oh, all the cables you would need. That's cool. I want to talk about that in a second, though. I want to figure these out. So, why are there 2? These are for mounting something interiorly. Side brace or something? Yeah, I could turn down the bright. I actually didn't set the camera up at all. I just kind of went with it. Oh, dang, guys. Wow. Camera settings are totally wrong. I'm going to replace the battery and fix this. ISO is at 1000 instead of 200, and my aperture needs to be a lot wider. This needs to be at 60. Wow, really sorry, guys. Amateur mistake. All right, I'm turning the camera off. 1 second. See you, Luna. Appreciate it. All right, good. I didn't lose anybody. All right, this is how it's more or less supposed to be. I guess I'm actually supposed to put it at 30. Better. Anyway, I guess the Febreze doesn't need to be in the shop. I don't know what these are for. It has to be for some kind of bracket because they're countersunk holes. I don't think I got a bracket, which is fine, but I guess Jay Hack's in the channel so he can tell us exactly what it's for, but some kind of accessory bracket, but good use of the space. Anyways, I'm excited about this. I really am. I mentioned to you guys that after I did that mini APU build with the liquid cooler in it, that I was really want to do an APU case, but that's going to take me forever to get one out. I have a design for it, but I want something in the meantime. And there's lots of cool little cases out there. Lots of really cool little ones. Another really cool one, what I'm talking about, these. This is the Lone L4. Another cool little tiny indie case by Lone Industries. And the difference between these two, I think this is kind of where I'm going to use for my APU build coming up, my little Mac Mini Hackintosh. This is a great case, and it's kind of interesting too because it has the slots for like a small graphics card. Like the RX 560. But I don't need that for the 2400G. And I also have a Iris Pro 5775C i7. Awesome chip, which will be sick in here. Totally sick. So I decided I need to get one of them. So oh, what's in the box? You guys can guess what's in the box because I'm still looking at my new toy. I don't know what these are for, but again, probably some kind of interesting bracketry. I just like this case. It's really well built. The only thing about clamshell designs is that this is the best orientation, right, for them. It looks awesome like this. And this is built so well, even with the vents, you could put a monitor on top. I mean, you want your cooler to vent, but it's very sturdy. But that's the problem with the clamshell design is that it kind of doesn't ever look right standing up. This is not a criticism of the case at all. It just, you got to do this to save money, and I think this is a really good price too. It's $75. So, yeah. Anyway, so now what makes it really cool is that J-Hack really makes a case. I think this is I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I'm gonna just think in my own head because he's a power supply guy. So he's made this computer case designed to do these brickless type builds. So I was actually interested in seeing what power supplies fit out of the box. This is the RPS 200-12-C. Is the C the medical one? I don't know. But I've used almost identical ones of these before. Ooh, this one's new. That smells great. Meanwhile, Power Supply's new smell amazing. Yeah, and so I thought this might be the case. He has already planned and figured out all this stuff. Look at that. So he already has screw hole mounts for this power supply right on the side. That's nifty. I don't know which way it goes. Maybe it goes this way. Then you can look through the slots and see it. Ooh. I like it. I also want to see if it works with this one. Because I did not follow this. I've been off the forums for quite a while. I have no idea what's going on over there whatsoever. So for me, I saw this on his website when I went to go buy a fan from him. And I was like, ooh, I got to have that. Okay, so this one doesn't fit. But that's fine because this one's cheaper anyway. I was just curious. This one's lighter too. And this is a little, I don't know if I've used the C before, the 200-12-C, but I have used the RPS 200-12. And it will do about 250 watts active cooling. I don't think it's rated for that. I think it's actually rated for 200 with some cooling, and then like 160, correct me if I'm wrong, passive. But it's really beefy and really stable. So I really like this power supply. It works well. And it's cheap. I don't want to say a price, but it's between 50 and 100. And I was hoping that Chad would show up because I was talking to him about this and I was like, I want this computer case. And he's like, happy birthday. So he's the one that purchased this for me. It was a secret, but yeah, he bought it for me for my birthday. So thank you, Chad. You're the man. So this will Yeah. Cool beans. Then we have these cables. Yeah, you can tell I'm off tonight, guys. That's why I'm totally incoherent. I apologize. Off more than usual. Has the C5 inlet. It's called the C5, right? I think the 3-pin is called the C5. The clover inlet. Ooh! I'm going to have to get with him about this. He actually has the plug that actually plugs into... Oh, that's cool. I feel ghetto now just soldering mine to it. That's cool. And then you can use the ground on the case. So that's going to plug in through here, bolt to the side. Then you have a earthed power supply mounted all nice and beautiful. I'm gonna do it. I'm just going to plug it in right now. Why not? Is it an M3 or is it 632? Does it come with screws? Here's a little baggie of screws. And rubber pucks for feet. So is it a C5 or a C6? That's what I want to know. I think it's a C5. And the cable's a C6? I don't know. It gets confusing fast. I was gonna plug this into the inside to make it nice and neat, but that's gonna be a challenge, so I'm not gonna do that. I just want to get this going. I got this plugged in, wrapped up. There we go. It's a C6. And what's a C5 besides the better looking Corvette? Oh, I thought that plugged in that way, but this actually bolts into from the bottom. Does it reuse the grounding pole? So I want to mount it like he has it, but I want to like show the awesome vent through that side. Oh well. I'm actually putting my A300 in here. I'll have to mod it, but that's the rising board I got right now. And I'll use this ground on the frame that ties into this board, which just means I have to unplug it. But first I'm going to bolt in the C6 jack. Yeah, it's confusing when I don't know, like, did somebody figure it out? C6 and C5? Because I think they're very similar. Yeah, okay, C5 is the female version of C6. So yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. And J-Hack has provided multiple options for power supply plugs in the back. He has the 12mm with the slotted slots, so you can put lots of different things here. The mini box 4-pin DIN to Kicon connector, the HDplex connector, the new HDplex connector. This is like a Molex connector, I think. And I don't know what that one is, but it's a cute little tiny one. Cute little tiny switch. I'll do it this way so you can see. I think J-Hack did this the right way. Again, because he's like, he knows safety things, and he's always talking about safety on the forum. Safety, safety, safety. But it would look cool with the power supply visible from the outside. Just saying. Dangerous. Fine. Fine. But it would look cool. All right, I like that. Perfect cable. It was just enough to actually get in there and do what I'm doing. I like this. This is really cute. This is industrial. It's super bright, I know. But it probably looks cooler with it white. All overexposed. I like it. I'll tone the video down in a bit so you can actually see what the paint actually looks like. It isn't a super bright powder coat. It is a duller white. So I want to make sure and represent the colors accurately. But right now it looks like it's like an Arctic white. Safety first. J-Hack also includes an on-off switch with his computer case. Yeah, I know. Everyone's like jabbing on me right now. Which is good, but you know, it's just a standard on-off power switch, but it's included for your use, so you can actually start using your computer right away without spending an obnoxious amount of money on the NFC website or ordering it separate on Amazon. I am going to use a spacer ring because I don't want to scratch up this lovely powder coat. Problem with that. Though I'm probably going to use one of my switches later, but I wanted to plug it in and see. Great length. You can reach even the dumb new Asus Z370i location with it. Heat shrink together. Ready to rock and roll. All right, I want to look at these more of these cool cables. See, he's made another cool one for this power supply. This one, yeah, nifty. So this will plug into the output side, and it has the Molex connector for his plug-in unit, all ready to rock and roll. Oh, I love this. Oh man, this is what I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy it for his kits from now on instead of buying from Mauser. Because I end up soldering it. I guess for these, whenever I buy them, I'm doing like a custom build. But if you guys are doing like a small build like this, check out J-Hack's website. Because having them do all the connectors for you is cool. Here's another 24-pin plug-in unit. Looks exactly the same as the other one. It doesn't smell like anything. No chemicals that are going to burn my brain out, which is unfortunate. Step up your toxicity game, J-Hack. Yeah, oh man, that's awesome. And this is different than the other one I have. This one is for what? CPU power and SATA power? Are you just using the 12 volt or do you have 5 volt for the SATA as well? Because I know that with SSDs, you don't have to run them off 5 volt. They have a resistor in them. That's not the right word for it. I'm going to guess this plugs into the motherboard. I have a 3D model that I've made of this power supply, so you can go download it. But this power supply you can find on the Meanwell website on their PDF, and it gives all the dimensions out. I've made my 3D model based on it. Are you looking at that one? Try going to Mauser, try going to Mauser and looking at their page for it. But it's small. It's very small. It's 103, is that right? Yep. By 40 by 62. Oh man, I'm just bummed that I don't have my 2400G yet. And I don't have my Iris Pro Intel chip either. I loaned them out and I have not gotten them back yet. And I really want to put one in here. This is cool. I like it because all the cables are exactly the right length. I don't know if the SATA needs to be this long for this particular case, but if he's reusing it for the Mini, then I'm fine with that. But man, that nice. Very nice. And it comes with the cable, which is also cool because otherwise you pay $8 for it if you were trying to buy it single. The C5. So we determine if the C5 is the inlet and the C6 is the cable end, right? I don't know. But it comes with it, which is nice. And little feetsies, which I will never put on. They're nice. They're 3M little feetsies. But I really like this case. I'm going to elevate it a little bit. I'm going to elevate mine. I'm also going to change the... Oh, I'm going to give you an idea, J-Hack, because I'm doing this with my little mini ITX case. But put some standoffs in for STX. Why not, you know? But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my A300 board in it. Very cool. I don't know what all comes with the $75. Chad sent me this whole entire kit for my birthday. But I'm pretty sure it goes on this way, but I was seeing if I could vent more with the power supply on this side, which is actually what I would prefer to do, because the power supply is going to get hotter than the CPU fan. I also like the look of that honeycomb in the power supply. I want to show that off a little bit. I like it. I like this thing. I mean, I know that for $75, if you're getting the power supply with it, he's like giving you a case for free. So I'm pretty sure the power supply is different. But I am interested in going and seeing the prices for like all the cables and stuff with it, because that's cool. I made a mini Josh. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on for my case. But my case is only in my head. It's not over to the fat lady sings. And let's be real, it's going to probably be ridiculously expensive and not also include a power button. So there's a place for all types in this world. Perfect size. And I guess, I mean, like, I also like how he also had those side holes put in there, because that allows you to make more brackets and stuff for it, which I think is nice. Same for right here. So you can easily mod and expand for it. It's just a nice, well-built case that's in the price range. It's a little tiny bit more expensive than other mini ITX cases from industrial people like Logic Supply or Minibox, but I like it better. I like it better than those options. It kind of looks like the type of thing, like my motorcycle, my dirt bike, where I would like want to put stickers all over it. Like sticker bomb it out. It's beefy. It's beefy. You and me both, Joseph. I'm really pumped about it. I was never going to want to spend the money to make another premium small form factor case, but with that 2400G being actually just good enough for me to use on a daily basis, it's going to be exciting to see if there's a big performance leap over the next gen. And with the smaller die size, package size, it could be pretty darn decent. A 1050 Ti would be amazing. I would be just totally happy with that. The only thing that bothers me is that I wish that AMD would make a more premium APU, but it did sound like they were thinking about it this time around. Because that's my only real concern. Why can't you guys make like a 150 watt Ryzen 3 APU and charge $350 for it? You know, and have the decent graphics capability, but also have a really nice CPU attached to it. I thought J-Hack said, I'm back, lost interest for a bit. Well, you lasted a lot longer than I could watching myself, so. Basically, we're just telling everybody how bad this case was and how nobody should buy it. Not me glowing about it for the past 30 minutes or so. But yeah, this is not very well delivered live stream. I apologize for that. Very slow. Probably the slowest live stream I've ever done. But I do appreciate you guys. The super chats were amazing. I was having kind of a rough day, and you guys really picked me up, both in the chatting and supporting me, and also putting the money down like that. It's very, very, very kind. I really appreciate that. And I also want to thank Chad for hooking me up with this awesome case. And J-Hack, great job. Go check it out. If you need a tiny little APU case, this is the one I recommend. If you want a half-height graphics card, then check out the Lone L4, which is kind of similar but supports that. But this is fantastic. It's the right height to put. Probably could put a cryo rig in here, a C7, though you shouldn't buy a Noctua. And power supply, built real well, great price. So J-Hack Company's website, and I'll put one more time in the description. But let us call out the super chat peoples. Say thank you. I really hope YouTube will tell me what they are. I don't think it does anymore, which is such a shame. I really don't like this new interface. It's such a shame. I'm going to scroll up and see if I can see it. Of course, Joseph donated multiple times. Tumor donated multiple times. Thank you. Luna donated $100 Canadian. Really appreciate that. What a huge gift. And Chad donated the computer case. And some other people I see in here. Jim Bond usually gives a lot. I probably broke him. So it's good to see everybody here again. I really appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. Noctua, I agree. I'll end with that. Noctua should sponsor me. I have probably sold more of those little computer heat sinks for them, the NHL9i, than anybody. I feel like at least 2,000 now at this point, at the very least. So they should. But I just want a t-shirt. That's all I want. And I'm already a fanboy. Like, I'm already, like, you know, what's the word that people use when they sell out? Can't think of the name for it. I'm already selling their product. Like, so I mean, who cares? Like, just give me the t-shirt. I don't mind. Nocturne makes great stuff. All right, I'm gonna get off before I say anything else stupid. So it was fun. Gonna have to get my CPU back so I can do my build next Monday. Because this Monday my plans got ruined. I was gonna be doing my dad's PC. I want to get him in here and I want him to build. Well, maybe I'll supervise. Maybe I'll build it and he'll supervise his Mac clone, this Hackintosh we're building. So that's an S4MC. It's gonna be brickless, and I was gonna use the HD Plex kit, but if I can actually fit this Meanwhile in there, then I want to use that because I would like to use JHack's product in it. But I don't know if it's going to fit. I don't think it's going to. So I'm probably going to have to use the HD Plex, which is fine. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Sorry for my rambling. Goodbye.